Hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on AJK Beauty. Hi, I hope everyone's doing well. It has been a long time since I have done a vlog on this channel, on the skincare channel. So I figured I might as well get back into it. I actually, it's been a few weeks since my last posting, and I've been trying to get a little bit more consistent with posting videos here on AJK Beauty. But I have had a really tough time filming videos that I was like happy with, like getting back into the groove of things. I filmed I tried filming an Empties video and the lighting was just not great, or I wasn't happy with it. And then I filmed, was that last night or the night before, I filmed a haul video. I did a big purchase from Beauty Bay just because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about the newer products and the repackaging and reformulations of the Beauty Bay stuff, and I've never tried that brand before. So I bought a ton of stuff from Beauty Bay, filmed this haul, and I just once again wasn't super happy with it. So I ended up not posting it, and I was like, you know what, you need to like just commit and do the best that you can. You'll get back into the groove of things. So here I am filming a vlog, a little come with me vlog. We're gonna talk about a couple skincare things, but the reason for the season is here in Denver, Colorado. Today they are having a Korean cultural festival downtown, and I was like, oh, K-Beauty, I love Korean culture, and so it might be cool to go over there and film a few clips and maybe just take some photos. And then when I get back to the house, I'll try to maybe incorporate some empties into this, or do a little of this and that, just some general daily vlogging kind of stuff. So come along with me as we do that. And yeah, we're making our way over to the festival right now. I may be going camping. I might be leaving for that this evening to go camp tonight. Not 100% sure yet, but let's go check out this Korean cultural festival. What I've got on right now as far as sunscreen is I'm using, let's see if I can grab it. I'm trying to find, not necessarily find a dupe, but I've been seeing some dupes for the Super Goop Unseen sunscreen, and that's one of my favorite sunscreens. And so I found this one from Kroger. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Kroger, and it's their Invisible Gel Sunscreen SPF 40, and it says the active ingredients comparable to Super Goop Unseen sunscreen. So I was like, this is interesting because it is 89 milliliters, so it's much larger than the Super Goop one, and I think it was like $8 or $9, so obviously much cheaper. I mean, you can get 3 of these for the price of one Super Goop, plus it's a lot bigger, so you almost get 5 times the amount for the same price. So I like it. It does have all chemical filters. We're at a stoplight. Avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, octocrylene. This one is a little bit heavier in terms of it has a lot more silicone base to it. The Unseen sunscreen definitely is a silicone base, but this is even more like silicone-y, I guess, and so it mattifies a little bit even more, and it has a little bit more of kind of a tack to it. It does dry down to a nice satin finish, similar to the Unseen, but it's a little heavier, I'd say, than the Unseen sunscreen, but it performs really well, and it's also completely invisible. Out of the tube, it's a little bit like tan or beige, so I thought it was tinted, but it's not. It's just whatever that ingredients formulation has, almost kind of this like beige tone to it, but it applies completely sheer, completely clear. So it's pretty darn close. I mean, considering the price point, it's close enough for me that I think that it's a solid dupe. So I'll be doing when I finish that, I'll be doing a little review or recap of it. But I'm very happy with it so far. So I've got that on. I've got the Peach Slices Oil Control Balancing Mist on, and then obviously my AM skincare routine. So yeah, that's kind of what I have going on right now. And then on my body, I have like I think it's also from Kroger. Like I said, I've been trying to find some inexpensive alternatives to stuff I really like. And that's just their like sport sunscreen. And I like it. It's a little heavy, you know, like those classic body sunscreens, but it does absorb fairly nicely. I don't hate it. It's not the most elegant body sunscreen in the world, but for the price, I think it was like $4 or $5, it does pretty good. So I'm all coated in my sunscreen. And then, yeah, other than that, not a ton going on in the skincare world. I have a bunch of finishes, either empties or products that I'm done using, that I need to film a video for, so I might tack that onto the end of this. I'm not sure. But yeah, just bopping around. I had a little mini vacation / work conference in Nashville last week. That was a lot of fun. And that's really about it. Outside of that Beauty Bay haul, I picked up a couple sunscreens. They're on their way from Mad About Skin. And I've been trying to get my hands on that new Ordinary Soothing Serum, but I just haven't had time to go to Sephora and get it. So maybe I'll find some time to do that today. I'm not too sure. And then I've been really obsessing. I get obsessed over like a new product or something that I wasn't 100% aware of. Once I hear about it and it gets me excited, it's like all I can think about. Like I want to get the things. And unfortunately, what I'm keyed into right now is the Medicube facial devices. They've got like an air shot and like 3 other devices. They have I think it's not microcurrent, but it's something a little bit stronger than that. And so they have like a total of 4 devices that I've been looking at, and I'm like, should I get one of these and see how it goes? That air shot is the most interesting. It's supposed to mimic microneedling, but with electricity. So, and people seem to be having some really good results with it. So I might look at picking that up at some point soon. I currently have my Foreo device, my Luna, the cleanser, and I use that a couple of times a week. There was a while where I wasn't using it at all. And then I also have the Foreo Bear, and it's their version of the microcurrent device. I stopped using that for the longest time. I'm so bad about being consistent with devices. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to get this Medicube business, I have to commit to really using it to see the results. I also have an LED mask that I'm bad about using. So I was like, all right, before you get a new device, you have to prove to yourself that you will actually start using this stuff consistently. So my goal for the rest of the year is to use my Foreo devices and my LED mask consistently every day, to prove to myself that investing even more money into devices is worth it. Because if I'm just gonna buy them and just leave them on the shelf, then that's not helpful. So for the past, I think 3 nights now, I've been using my Foreo AM and PM now. And then when I get out of the shower and I'm doing my AM routine, you can flip the Foreo Luna over, and it's got that flat side, and it's supposed to help with serum penetration. So you can either put the serum right on the Luna, or you put your serums on and then you use that flat side to just kind of massage the serums into your skin. And so I've been doing that out of the shower in the PM, just doing kind of a facial massage with my serums. And it's actually just in the few days, I've noticed that the serums do absorb faster, and my skin just feels a little bit more deeply hydrated and plumped after I do those steps. So I'm going to keep doing that. And then I've been using the Foreo Bear the past 2 nights. So just doing a facial massage with that. And so I think I'm going to try to stick to it, prove to myself that it's worth doing it, because I really want to try that air shot, but I'm like, am I just getting it to get it, and I'm not going to use it, or will I actually use this? So that's the plan right now, just doing that stuff. And I'm liking the benefits of just using the flat side of the Luna for my serums, especially on my cheeks, just feel a little bit more deeply hydrated. So I did it this morning and I was like, this is doing something. So yeah, but let me go ahead and get to the Korean festival. I don't know if I'm going to be doing video clips. I'll do the best I can. Otherwise, I'll just do photos. And then back at the house, we'll talk some skincare stuff and wrap up the vlog. So we'll see you on the next clip. Bye. everyone. So we are back. It is actually the next day. So I'm going to try to insert some clips from the Korean festival and all of that good stuff. I finished kind of walking around the festival and then made my way back to my car, and I had some car issues when I got back to the car. Oh my God, it was so frustrating. Had to get the car towed back to the house. It seems like it's working fine now, but I've already scheduled an appointment with the mechanic to have it taken a look at because I don't want to be driving somewhere and it seems fine and then it's not fine and I'm stranded again. So that's why I didn't get a chance to film anything else yesterday. So it is a whole new day. I'm back home, safe, happy, all of that good stuff. So I mentioned in the last clip that I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the empties that I have, or just some of the finishes I had pretty much through, like, I think the end of August and then through September. So let's go ahead and just take a look at those, and that'll kind of wrap up this little vlog slash empties combo. And right away, we're gonna start off with some hair care products just to kind of knock those out. So I have been using the Pacifica Cocoa Peptide Damage Care Conditioner and the Cocoa Peptide Damage Care Shampoo. So these products were pretty affordable, and the ingredients lists, I was really happy with them just on first blush. You've got aloe leaf juice in here, obviously coconut water, coconut extract, coconut oil in the conditioner. We also have lentil seed extract. There's some ginseng in here. I believe there's some hyaluronic acid here in there as well. So the ingredients list kind of read a little bit like skincare, like a lot of antioxidants, some really nice ingredients that I'd love to see in a skincare product, but these are for hair. They're focused on dry and damaged hair. I really don't have either of those things, but I like a reparative shampoo and conditioner once in a while because it really helps with my curly hair. It keeps things soft if it's formulated and done well. So I ended up not loving these. The shampoo I found was a little bit drying. I wouldn't necessarily say stripping, but it was a little bit drying to the actual strands of my hair. And then this is the shampoo. And then the conditioner didn't really come in to kind of work that back by any means. It was a more light conditioner, so my hair still felt a little bit dry, very slightly zapped of hydration when all was said and done. But I will say that these did a really good job on my scalp. Like, sometimes my scalp can get a little bit itchy, can sometimes feel a little bit burdened by products, and so it left my scalp feeling refreshed. And I think some of these skincare, focused or skin focused ingredients did help with my scalp, but not necessarily the strands of hair themselves. So I'm going to be passing these off to a friend to give it a try and see if they like it, because a little bit does go a long way. I've used these for about 2 months and I'm only like down to here on the shampoo. The conditioner I've used a little bit more. I'm probably maybe about halfway. So a little bit goes a long way. It just wasn't something that I was a huge fan of. So I'm going to be setting those aside. Okay, next up we have a body product. I just wanted to get through the kind of in-shower hair and body stuff. This is from Isle of Paradise Body, and this is their Confidently Clear Body Cleanser. So this I actually really liked. It has lactic acid, polyglutamic acid, salicylic acid, and mandelic acid. So this is an exfoliating body wash, but it comes in this kind of, it's a gel body wash, but it's a little bit more creamy, a little bit more milky than I was expecting, which I really liked. It lathered really well. That lather hung around my my body wash tool in the shower, so I was able to get that lather pretty much everywhere. And it also has a couple other, hydrating ingredients. It's got a little bit of carrot seed oil in it, some panthenol. It does have some hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid and some sea buckthorn extract. So some really good ingredients here too. I was just surprised by how well it did smooth and like even out rough texture or uneven texture on the skin, just kind of smooth things, leave everything kind of soft, which is really nice. But it's not in that classic like mentholy eucalyptus acne salicylic body wash kind of scent and formulation. This is more creamy, a little bit more elegant. It does have a pretty intense kind of vanilla, coconutty, tropical scent. So if you're adverse to fragrance in general, or if you don't like those kind of high levels of kind of you know, a little tropical kind of intense scents, then you might not be a fan of this. But what I did like is it doesn't linger on the skin after you rinse. So it's more of a in-shower experience and then it's done. So I definitely like this. I'm gonna give the rest to my roommate. He liked it too. I'm like down to here, but he's gonna finish it up so I can move on to my next trial. But this is one that I would consider coming back to. I liked the blend of acids in a creamy formula. So very, very impressed with that. So Isle of Paradise, good job. Okay, so next up we're just gonna go in the order of how I would use these products in my skincare routine. So first things first, we have from By Real Techniques. This is their Real Clean Makeup Removing Balm. I used every little ounce of this. It's completely empty, like I scraped and scrubbed. There might be a little bit in there left, but this is a relatively new product. Real Techniques, I think, is known for mainly their tools, like their beauty blender kind of similar products, some brushes and that type of thing. But they now have some cleansing products. I believe they have cleansing wipes, they might have a cleansing oil, and then this balm. So I picked this up when it launched over at Ulta, and this is a really nice, straightforward, no-nonsense cleansing balm. It claims to melt away all traces of dirt and stubborn long-wear makeup. It's a coconut oil base, but it also has that PEG-20 in there, which I look for emulsification. It also has sodium hyaluronate, some ceramides in here. And then it does have a fragrance. It was a kind of a coconut oil scented product. And I did like it. It emulsifies really well. I guess starting off, it massages into the palms really well, turns into a nice lightweight oil, and then it rinses completely cleanly, which is like the biggest thing for me when I'm looking at a cleansing balm. I don't like to feel like there's any sort of waxy residue or anything left behind. I don't like to have to come through with a cloth and wipe stuff off. I want it to just rinse cleanly. So this rinsed really, really cleanly. I don't think I had anything, you know, any real issues with this product. It's just a nice, straightforward, no-nonsense cleansing balm. What is on my hand? I keep looking at something on my hand. So I really do like it. It's definitely one that I would consider coming back to. I have plenty of other cleansing balms to get to, but if you're looking for just a relatively affordable, easily accessible, you can pop over to Ulta and snag this. It's definitely one to try out. They claim it has vitamin A or retinol in it, but I think it's like a derivative of a derivative. So I wouldn't lean on this for like your vitamin A retinol action. It's just a nice, straightforward, no-nonsense cleansing balm, as long as you're okay with that coconut fragrance. So pretty nice product. Okay, next up we have from Fenty Skin. This is their Cherry Dub Superfine Face Scrub. So I've actually been using this for, I want to say coming up on 3 months now. I only use a physical exfoliation like twice a week, and this is a product that is a relatively new release, I think, this year, and I've never had good luck with Fenty Skin, unfortunately. There hasn't been a single product that I would necessarily come back to, and this one falls into that same category. They utilize sugar and silica in here as your exfoliating beads and bits to smooth skin, resurface texture. I've found that it really helps with excess sebum and oil production, so that's why I lean on a physical exfoliator once in a while. But for whatever reason, the formulation or the base that this is in is this really jelly, kind of sticky, it's just a heavy jelly kind of consistency, almost like a Jell-O, but not quite. And once you apply it to damp skin, it does kind of cream up a little bit and kind of turn creamy in texture, but it's still got this like squish to it that, for whatever reason, I find that it doesn't let the sugar and that silica really make a lot of contact with the skin. It seems like it's all just trapped in that like gelatinous formula. So I think that it might be geared towards those who either have sensitive skin, want a really mild physical exfoliation, or they might have been accounting for people that really press and scrub, because if you use a gentle hand like I use and I've learned to use with physical exfoliators, those exfoliating bits don't make a lot of contact with the skin, and I feel like it's just not super effective. I'm just wiping this kind of jelly cream stuff on my face, and when I rinse it, I don't really feel that it's done a whole lot. And I found that a few times, I'm not sure if it depended on which oil cleanser I was using, it left a little bit of a residue behind, almost slightly waxy, and it kind of impeded my toners and other products that I put on my skin from really soaking in. I felt like it took longer. There was just something left over. So I almost always had to go go through and do another cleanse, like a water-based cleanser, to get the residue from this product off. And the scent it's from the Acerola cherry, but I believe it does have added fragrance in here. And I believe it's supposed to be like Barbados cherry, but it smells like cough syrup or cough drops, like a Luden's cherry, like decongestant cough drop, and I don't like it. So this is a product that I'll probably be giving to a friend to see if they might enjoy it, but I'm gonna discontinue use a little bit. I found that the less you use, the more contact you get with those exfoliating beads. So even though I've been using this for a few months, I've barely made a dent in it because you need just the tiniest amount. But even then, it just wasn't that effective. So I'm going to be handing this one off. I'm not a fan, and I don't think I'm going to be trialing any more Fenty skin products. I've spent a decent amount of money on trying all of their new releases, and then I came and tried this one, and nothing's worked. So I'm not a big fan. All right, and then after that, we have from Nyod, it's their Flavanone Mud. And so this is a clay-based mask. It's got kaolin in it. It's got a couple other, I don't know if it has bentonite in it, but it has a couple other clays in it. And then it's got resveratrol. It's got a couple of different oils in it as well. And this is a product, once again, I scraped every bit out, and then I think I rinsed it because it was getting it had some residue on the edges. But this is a clay mask that claims to not only do the part of the clay mask where it helps to sop up excess sebum and oil and that type of thing, but it's supposed to impart a lot of like nourishing ingredients as well as that resveratrol, like a high antioxidant to help protect your skin throughout the day. So it's supposed to be this kind of like triple action clay mask. And while I did like this mask, it didn't necessarily do anything more than what I would expect from a traditional clay mask at a much lower price point. I didn't see any of those extra amazing benefits outside of just it as a clay mask. The other thing that was kind of weird about it is it has this really intense kind of like burnt orange tinge to it, and if you're rinsing it off in the shower, it can, if you have like a white tub or a white shower, it can get everywhere. If you're rinsing it off at the sink, it gets all over the place. So it's a little bit even more messy than a typical clay mask. And the scent, even though I didn't mind it, it reminds me of barbecue sauce. It has this weird kind of mesquite barbecue scent to it. And so the price point, plus it not being any more impactful than a more affordable basic clay mask, is the reason why I wouldn't be coming back to it. The one thing that is nice, which a lot of clay masks are doing now, is it doesn't dry down so where it's like cracking and tightening and uncomfortable. It just kind of has this soft kind of dry finish to it that you can still talk in, you can still, sip through a straw. It's not painfully tight, but there's other clay masks that offer that benefit now. So it's fine, but would I pay that price again for it? No. And I think if you're not into having a barbecue scent on your face, you're probably not gonna like this. So this is one that I probably won't come back to. Okay, so next up we have a serum, and this is from By Wish Trend. It's their Pure Vitamin C 21.5 Advanced Serum. There's the box there. So this is their 25% concentrate L-ascorbic acid serum. It also has sea buckthorn water in it as the main ingredient. Then you have ascorbic acid. You also have sodium hyaluronate, panthenol in here, allantoin. So it combines, I believe it has, I don't think this one has ferulic acid in it. So it's just that ascorbic acid. This was a favorite of mine in 2020, I believe, is when 2020, I selected this as my favorite vitamin C product for the entire year, and I was really impressed with it at the time. It does offer a lot of brightening properties. It helps reduce hyperpigmentation, helps to gently or slowly fade dark spots over time, and also a really powerful antioxidant. So I was happy with it at the time. I did mention at the time that keeping this in the fridge helps to keep it fresher for longer, but I noticed it start to crystallize when it gets a little bit too cold. So I had to keep moving it around the fridge, try to find the right area of the fridge so the product, I'm not sure if it's the L-ascorbic acid or something else, would stop from crystallizing, because it would literally get little crystals or rocks down at the bottom, and I'd have to sit there and shake and fuss with it to try to get it to mix back up. And so that exact same thing happened this time, but this time I couldn't get them to go away. So I'd have to leave it out of the fridge for a little bit before I would apply it and try to warm the bottle up, which I think is helping to enhance its oxidation. So I just never found a really good place for it in the fridge. I never found it to be that easy to use every day, especially if you're in a rush in the morning and you've gotten to your vitamin C step and you have to take it out and like warm it and shake it and try to get those crystals to break up. And then even when they would break up, you could still see little bits of them in the pipette. So I felt like I was potentially not getting an even distribution of the formulation on my face because there was these little granules and bits. So not a fan of it. It also left my skin feeling really tacky and sticky after application, which is something they claim on the product that it doesn't do, but it does. So one thing that I will say is I use vitamin C every morning. Vitamin C does keep a reservoir of in your skin, so it can last, I believe it's like up to 72 hours in your skin, continuing to do its work. So I don't know if that correlates to why it was not absorbing as well after like a day or two of use, but maybe giving yourself a day off in between applications would help with absorption. But either way, it just isn't a super elegant vitamin C. I think the skincare industry is improving with how they formulate their vitamin Cs, and there's products out there that are becoming a little bit more easy to absorb. Might include some silicones or something like that just to make the application a little bit more uniform, consistent, while still being fresh. So I think this might be the last time I reach for this one. I've been utilizing the CosRx, I think it's their 23% vitamin C serum, and I'm much happier with that formulation. So we'll see if I come back to this one, but for now, it's a pass going forward. So. Okay, so next up we have the Round Lab Mugwort Calming Toner. So there it is. It's all in Korean there and on the box, but it's the Round Lab Mugwort Calming Toner. So this is a toner that I have been really looking forward to trying. I know that their original like Dokdo, I think it's like the 1025 or something like that. That's like a cult favorite toner. I just got that one in, but I had ordered this one first, the Mugwort version, because I love Mugwort. I think it's very soothing, very calming, helps to calm even like heat irritation, like just being out in the sun, and if your skin's feeling like overworked and hot and stressed, it helps, but it can also help soothe irritation from breakouts, that type of thing as well. So I'm a huge proponent of high concentrations of mugwort in my skincare. So this one actually spoke to me more than their original. This features that mugwort extract. It also has sugarcane extract. It also has some cica madecassoside in here, panthenol, allantoin, and green tea leaf extract as well. So while I found this to be a really lightweight, watery, easily layerable, hydrating toner, and that's really what I look for in a toner. I need it to be layerable so I can just pack on a bunch of different layers of it before I move on to my serums and moisturizer. But I also like that hydration to kind of stick around too. So it's something thin, watery, layerable, hydrating. So it checks off all those boxes. It's a good toner. But that mugwort and those other ingredients in there, I didn't see much in the way of irritation reduction or soothing or anything like that that I typically look for in a lot of these ingredients that are listed here. For whatever reason, anytime I had a breakout or if I was irritated from sun exposure, I put it on and it was hydrating, but my skin didn't, like redness didn't calm down, irritation really didn't calm down. It just felt like a really basic hydrating toner, which is fine, but I was expecting more from this version. Now, it also has sage oil in it, which gives it this scent that's a little bit kind of medicinal, a little bit minty, and I was really wanting it to have that herbally kind of tea mugwort scent that I adore. I love those kind of scents from mugwort, from like a high level of green tea. I really like those kind of herbally, earthy scents, and this is a little bit more kind of medicinal and kind of minty, and so that turned me off as well. So from an experience and a sensorial standpoint and from a benefit standpoint, this one kind of missed the mark for me. So another one that I'll be giving away and not finishing up, unfortunately. All right, next up we have from the Clog, which is a brand from Soko Glam, and it's their Snail Mucin Energy Essence. This is an essence product that reminds me a lot of the CosRx Snail Mucin. I think it's their Power Essence or something like that. This features, I think it's 90% snail secretion filtrate. It also has wild yam extract, which is known as like the plant-based version of snail mucin. Its claim is to be deeply hydrating and protects the skin moisture barrier, so kind of a reparative essence as well. So it has that hydration, but also that reparative property. So I actually liked this. I did like it, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to come back to it, or maybe use it in a different way. But it is that thicker, kind of sticky, snail mucin essence. Very, very similar to the CosRX one. I found, from what I remember, the CosRX one didn't absorb as quickly as this one. So if you are someone that felt like that one stayed on the skin a little bit too long or sat on the skin, this one just absorbs really quickly. It is nicely hydrating, and it's actually quite layerable. Once you massage it in, it becomes a little bit more fluid and just soaks into skin. So yeah, I did find it quite layerable and soaks into skin. So I can actually do 2, 3, 4 layers of this after I finish with my toner, or even before, and not feel sticky or tacky or anything like that. No fragrance whatsoever, so it's a really kind of invisible product, and I did find it to be quite hydrating. As far as reparative goes, I've used snail mucin products here and there. I've never noticed like a real huge impact of like if I have a scar or dark spot or something like that. I've never really been like wowed by the power of snail mucin. I've just found it to be really deeply hydrating and help to hold a little bit of moisture to the skin. So for that reason, that's what I would typically use it for. Because this is called Essence, I was using it alongside my toner, but I say this all the time, I really like an essence that's focused on brightening. It's what I remember when I first started using K-Beauty, the Misha Time Revolution, the IOPay, the Neogen Bio Treatment Essence, all of those, the SK2 I guess is one as well. But that's what I look for, is those fermented ingredients, niacinamide, something to brighten, illuminate the skin, help potentially reduce dark spots. And so that's what I've just become accustomed to from an essence. A toner is where I want just that classic hydration. So to be honest, if I was to purchase this again, I'd actually use it as a toner step, or even maybe a serum step, a hydrating serum, and save that essence step for those illuminating ingredients. Of course, you could do both. You could have a hydrating essence and then a brightening essence if you wanted to, but I typically go off of like how it's being marketed, and I would probably use this as a toner or maybe lightweight serum. But you can see I really used quite a bit of it. It's down to here. I was layering this stuff on because it felt really nice and hydrating. So it's a yes, but if you're thinking like, oh, I love a nice brightening essence, this probably isn't the way to go. So something to look into for sure from the Clog. All right, so now we have a couple of serums. This first serum is from Dr. Suricle, and it's their PLC Vita K Liposome Oil Ampule. So vitamin K is a really interesting ingredient. It pops up here and there in skincare, but you don't see it a ton. Essentially, this ingredient, vitamin K, is used for its reparative properties. It's supposed to help with like scarring too, I guess. Also a lot of hydration and some antioxidant power. So I haven't seen a lot of vitamin K utilized. I think it's hard to formulate with. And so what Dr. Suricle has done is they've kind of encapsulated their vitamin K in a blend of oils and silicone. And it's separate from the, I believe there's, let's see. There's niacinamide in here as well, broccoli extract, cucumber extract, a lot of extracts that are going to be in a water base. So you have this ingredient, the vitamin K, that needs to sit in like an oil base and kind of get encapsulated, but then you have all these watery ingredients. So they've done this dual phase, and I hope you can see it. So you can see in there, you've got that oil at the bottom, and then to use it, you have to shake that with this watery portion to get the blend of product and get that efficacious vitamin K on your skin, because it doesn't like to be in that water base. So they've kept it separate. And so you can actually see that oil sitting in there. And so I'll shake it up for you, but I love playing with this because it's like a little lava lamp of a product. You can see that in there, that dual phase. There we go. So I'll shake it up and you'll see what I mean. So you shake it and it emulsifies like a little vinaigrette. And then that's how you apply it to the skin. And you can still see those tiny little bubbles of oil floating in there. So the best way to apply it, I've seen people apply it separated and they just squeeze it and then you get a bunch of oil and a little water. My suggestion is to really shake this to get it mixed up. And then with the pipette, you want to pump and squeeze and pump and squeeze, so you're getting all of the separated stuff out of the pipette, and now you can see in our pipette we have that perfectly blended formula. So that would be my suggestion. I wouldn't just leave it stagnant, and because you're just going to get a whole pipette of the oil or all water. To get a good even distribution of the product, my suggestion is to shake it. After you've used it for a while, you will start to see it not completely separate at the end of the day. You'll still get little bits, but that's okay. It's totally fine. They're still encapsulated. But I found this to be a really nice oil serum hybrid. I'm starting to fall in love with that. I like facial oils in the winter, but in the summer, I typically avoid them. But then sometimes I feel like I need that extra kind of moisture locking nourishment. So this oil serum or oil water kind of serum hybrid is kind of perfect for me with my oily and combination skin, because it gives me a little of that, but then I'm getting a lot of antioxidant powers, some more watery hydration from this serum. So if you're someone that is dealing with dark spots, hyperpigmentation, scarring, I think it's also supposed to really help with, I think maybe enhancing firmness and plumpness to the skin. It's an interesting ingredient, and I had to do a little bit of digging, and I still couldn't find a ton of information, but I really like this. It helped to leave my skin nicely hydrated, a nice silky dewy glow, and it's light enough that I could use it AM and PM. So I don't know if I saw a lot of benefit from like hyperpigmentation reduction, but just from like slightly firming, a little bit of a plumping, just really packing that hydration in while still locking it in. This is really nice. Those with dry skin are probably gonna love this AM and PM, but oily skin folks, it might just be a PM serum for you, but I used it AM and PM and really liked it, and it layered well with other products. The other nice thing is you get 50 milliliters here as opposed to the normal 30 that you'd see from a serum. So very happy with this. I'm probably going to keep this and be a little stingy and keep it in my routine and continue finishing it up while I'm testing other products, but very happy with this from Dr. Suracle, the PLC Vita K Liposome Oil Ampule, evens tone for dark areas, and it's post-care. I think people use vitamin K post like laser treatments and stuff too. So interesting product from Dr. Suracle. Okay, second serum that I am all done with is another one from Niod. Me and Niod, I've yet to really find something that like blows me away. Their saccharide dismutase mist, I really liked that. But this is their copper amino isolate serum 3:1:1. Hopefully you can see that. I'll show you the box. So this is like one of their more pricey products out of their lineup. I got it as part of their holiday sale last holiday season. And so this is a copper peptide. It's a peptide blend, but it features copper peptides, and you can see it has that copper peptide, really intense blue color to it. This product is used, copper peptides are supposed to help stimulate collagen production, so think firming, plumping the skin, helping reduce fine lines, wrinkles, that type of thing. So it's kind of an anti-aging serum. And I reached for this mainly as a preventative product. I haven't really gotten crow's feet unless I like squint and stuff, but most people have them. I have a couple of forehead lines here that are starting to become a little bit more deep set. So I was just kind of maybe targeting those areas, but mostly focusing on preventative. I don't want anything to get more pronounced or deep. So that's why I convinced myself I needed this product. And for me, I've been using this for a couple of months now. And for me, I didn't notice a huge benefit to it necessarily. I think my skin has had a little bit more of a firmness to it. Looks a little bit more just kind of plump and firm, but I think my skin looks like that as long as I'm packing hydration on and keeping things really nicely hydrated, drinking enough water, that type of thing. So I didn't see as drastic of results or really any noticeable results as compared to someone that might have more fine lines, wrinkles, more deep set things that they're trying to target. The copper peptides, at least at this stage, haven't really shown their benefit to me at this stage of my life and for how long I've been using it. So I'm going to continue using it. I didn't notice any issues with it, no reaction. The one thing that is kind of a pain is copper peptides are sensitive to interacting with other ingredients. So you don't want to use them next to something with a super low pH. You have to be careful. I think retinol's something else that you're not, I don't remember. There's like a whole laundry list of things that you can't do in the same routine as copper peptides. My research that I've done has told me, or from what I've learned, is you can use them in the same routine as something with a lower pH. You just want to give it a minute, and you want to buffer between the two with like a regular toner or an essence or a serum or something like that to help balance that. But if you were to put on like the glycolic acid toner from The Ordinary and then go right over this, it's been shown to degrade the effectiveness of copper peptides. So you just want to be careful with that. So the way that I've been doing it is I've been using these towards the end of my routine, just before my moisturizer. So I'm doing my toner, essence, serums, sheet mask, whatever it is, as long as they have that kind of relatively 5.5 or higher pH. And then I go in with my copper amino isolate serum and then finish with my moisturizer. In the PM, I can get away with applying this right after I cleanse. If I'm not doing physical exfoliants, I can also get away with it using it right after I cleanse in the morning if I'm not using my vitamin C. So it's just, you have to be careful with that pH. So they can be fussy, and you do have to kind of change up your routine a little bit to get them to work. But I found that I was able to work it in relatively easily as long as I'm thinking about it, and I'll keep using it. I've only used, I'd say, about a third of the bottle over the course of the past couple months. You don't only need like a tiny bit, but I paid a decent amount for this, so I'm gonna keep on using it. And once I get done with it, then I'm gonna probably continue trialing copper peptides, but I'm gonna go for something at a lower price point. The Ordinary has a copper peptide serum that's much more affordable. Peach and Lily just launched one that's like half the price of this. So there are other options. Because it's preventative, I don't think I need like the highest, most like impactful, high percentage of copper peptides. I think I can get away with trying some of these other affordable ones. And then if I do start to see some issues later on in life, then maybe I'll step it up and go for the big guns. But for now, it's just kind of, I think it's working, but it's very background. So there's that. And last but not least, we have a moisturizer, and this is just amazing. This is from Rovectin, and it's their Rovectin Clean Lotus Water Cream. I know this is like a staple in a lot of people's routines, such a highly praised product, and I see why. This is packed with lotus flower extract. It also has some glycerin in it. It's got a couple other moisturizers, niacinamide in it, sweet almond oil. It's got, let's see, I thought it had, no, it doesn't have any niacinamide. Oh, it does have niacinamide, but it doesn't have, I don't think there's any sodium hyaluronate in here, which is interesting. So yeah, it's got a lot of that lotus flower extract, which is a great antioxidant. I found it to be pretty hydrating too, but it also has that sweet almond oil in it and some other moisturizers that, even though this is a lightweight kind of gel moisturizer, it still holds and locks in hydration really well, even throughout the day, even throughout the PM for my combination skin, but it's still lightweight. I've been keeping this in the fridge and it's just so cooling to apply it. I found it to be quite soothing as well. So it's just a no muss, no fuss, straightforward, lightweight, slightly watery moisturizer, but it has the impact of something that would be a little bit heavier, which I really appreciate. So this is absolutely one. I have so many moisturizers. I didn't realize until I was looking through my stash how many moisturizers I have to get through. So I have a long way to go before I'll ever be repurchasing a moisturizer. But when I get there, this is definitely on the list. Very, very good. No fragrance. It's really approachable. So, and then I love how inside Rovectin Clean products, because they want this to be easily recyclable, so they don't put a ton of printing or stickers on their boxes or on their bottles, but they give you all these stickers so you can decorate your bottle as you see fit. There's letters and numbers and all sorts of cute stuff on here to play with. I haven't ever done it, but I like that it's there. So you can kind of customize your bottle and then peel them off when it's time to recycle, which is quite nice. So, oh, now I'm not going to be able to get that in there. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that is everything. So that is not only a little car vlog, then you got to see the Korean Cultural Festival here in Denver, Colorado, and now you got to see my empties over the past month-ish. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, if you saw some of your favorites on this video, what you thought of the cultural festival, if you like this style of video, anything and everything, just leave it down in the comments. I'll be sure to look those over. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it, and stay glowing. We'll see you next time. Bye.